everyone, welcome back to my tutorials. In this video, I want to show you how to play the song that you and I cannot live without. It's Happy Birthday. It's super easy, but there's something to be learned. I'm going to talk a little bit about the intervals and how they evoke emotions and expressions. And also we'll talk about the upbeat phrase structure. And of course, I'll show you a couple different ways in the left hand to accompany the right hand melody. All right, without further ado, if you have a birthday hat, put your birthday hat on and let's get started. Let's first learn the melody in Happy Birthday. Our first note is G. Again, this is my middle C, and just like You're My Sunshine, we're moving your hand over to put your thumb on G. C, B, A, G. What's interesting about Happy Birthday is that the melody actually starts on an upbeat. An upbeat usually refers to the last beat of a measure. So if you look at the very beginning of the song, the two Gs, two eighth notes, that's all you have in that one measure. So this is an incomplete measure. All we're seeing is the last beat of the measure. So the two Gs falls on an upbeat or third beat. So there are totally four phrases, four very short phrases in Happy Birthday, and each phrase we start on an upbeat. All right, now let's start from the first phrase. Put your thumb on G. 1, 2, G, G, A, G, C, B. The fingering I'm using is 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 3. And then second phrase, same fingering, but we're gonna go a little higher. 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 4 on D, and 3 on C. And third phrase has the biggest leap. 1, 1, 5. So this is an entire octave from the lower G to the higher G. So we want to make sure your hand is big enough to reach the higher G. So just open it up a little bit. 1, 1, 5, and then come down. 3, 1, and kind of just cross over. 2, 1. Again, this is 1, 1, and G, E, C, B, A. And the last phrase, start on F. Again, on an upbeat. 1, 2, F, F, E, C, D, C, 2. So even with a simple song like Happy Birthday, you want to be thinking about how to play it expressively. If we look at these four phrases, the first phrase has a very small leap from G to C. And then the second phrase has a little bigger leap from G to D. And then the third phrase, which is kind of like the most exciting part of the song, G, G, has a biggest leap. So every time you have a bigger leap, it creates more expression and more emotions. So you want to keep that in mind when you are playing. Okay, let's try it again. And with dynamics this time, so we're going to start kind of on the softer side. G, G, A, G, C, B. And the second time a little bit more excited. And then third time, most excited. So you can play slightly louder. And on that A, we're going to hold it a little longer because there's a fermata. Fermata refers to making the note a little bit longer than usual. With the extra time we have on the fermata, we can add a little arpeggio. I'll show you how to do that later. But for now, let's go on. For the last phrase, you just kind of want to maybe slow it down a little bit or make it softer. Now let's look at the chord you can play in the left hand. We'll be using the same chords we played in You're My Sunshine. So Since we're in the key of C major, we'll be using scale degree 1 chord, which is a C chord. And then scale degree 4 chord, so 1, 2, 3, 4, F, A, C, F chord. And then lastly, scale degree 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, G, B, D, G chord. Okay, and actually for the G chord, we'll be playing the lower one. So C chord here, G chord, gonna go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 steps down. And then for the 4 chord, we're gonna go up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 steps down to the G chord and 4 steps up to the F chord. There are a couple ways you can play the chord. You can just simply play what I just did. This is called the blocked chords. G and C and G, C again, and then F, and then back to C and G, C. Notice that in the second to the last measure, we have 2 chords. So C chord on the downbeat and then G chord on the 3rd beat. And again, remember, we start the melody on an upbeat, so the chord actually start on the downbeat. So this might be a little tricky at first, but you can get used to it if you practice. So if you count, it might help you to place the chord at the right time. 1, 2, happy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And wait a little longer. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Make sure to use the metronome to help you keep a steady beat. And let's just see what we can do on that little fermata we have in measure 6. You can play a little arpeggio. Arpeggio is basically just a broken chord. You can simply just do a 2-octave, just on the F chord, F, A, C in the left hand, and then F, A, C, F in the right hand. Or you can go even further, maybe another octave or so, like that. You can do as many octaves as you want. You can repeat too, or no matter what you do, just make sure you're playing F, A, C in both hands. So, happy birthday, dear someone. You can do it like that, or just simply. And the last phrase, C chord, G chord, C chord. Another variation is just to play one note at a time for the chord. Since we have 3 beats per measure that fits perfectly with the 3 notes in each chord. So you could do 1, 2, 3, C chord, and then G chord, G, B, D, C, E, G, C, E, G, F, A, C, and then just hold that for a little longer. And then for the last measure, since we have 2 chords here, we have C chord and then G chord, you can just play C, E, G. It will sound just fine. You could also play C, E, F, C. So all right, now hands together. Slowly, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then right hand you can just do like that, or simply, and then back. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You can just add a chord at the end to make it sound more full. So the good thing about this version is that your left hand plays a note on every beat. So it's a good way to keep the pulse going, keep the beat steady for your right hand. Okay, there's one more version I want to show you. If you want to make Happy Birthday a little more upbeat, maybe make it more like a birthday waltz, you can do, instead of the chords at the same time, you could do the bottom note first, and then the top two notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. With hands together, it will sound like this. 1, 2. Start with the right hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And again, fermata. Do whatever you want. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Alright, that's how you can play Happy Birthday in 3 different ways. I hope you enjoy practicing it. It's a fun song, so have fun. I'll see you next time.